3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to Create Now. This is vegan. I am vegan, Stephen. That's right. And not only that, we're here. Does anyone know what lesson we're doing today? Are we going to do a singing lesson? We're going to do a drum lesson? We're going to do a singing lesson. So, burbles. Sound, tummy, in and out. Diaphragm, in and out. Alright, so your diaphragm is like, put your hand in your belly button, maybe your thumb in your kind of belly button-ish, and kind of the rest of your hand is kind of holding a bit underneath your belly button. All that kind of stuff. So when you breathe in, you want to make sure your tummy's going out. You can breathe in, if you breathe in through your nose, it'll automatically kind of breathe out. If you breathe in through your mouth, often your shoulders and yeah. Can you see what's happening? I don't know if you can see it. Your whole head and chest comes in your chest. That's chest breathing. That's like, not what we want for right now. And yeah, we want to get this stomach going. So you're kind of just practicing sucking your tummy in and out. Yeah. So sit-ups are fucking great for this. Get doing the sit-ups morning, night and day. No, not like that. But every morning would be good if you can. Sit-ups really help for singing. So one thing I do is I do my singing warm-ups while I'm doing sit-ups, which is, time is money. Keep it going. So I'd be like, sorry, that's 1, 2, and sure, I won't get in, or sure, I better get into it because it's singing lesson, isn't it? So once again with the burble, it's you can push up your cheeks with your fingers if you want. It makes your face a lot lighter, and just like a horse, it kind of the goal is to keep everything relaxed, and you want to be pushing the sound through so you feel it in your lower incisors, kind of the front teeth in your mouth. The front side teeth. I should really have it looked up here, but it's I'm sure you all know what I'm talking about. The lower part of your jaw. You should feel the bottom of your jaw if I can go 90. There's lots of different ways to do this, but it's good to aim the sound out of your mouth as opposed to mumbling. This is just technique. So kind of basic bit of technique. And why would you be asked doing? People are saying, "Oh, jeez, I want to have a unique voice and all this shit," and I'm just like, clearly you don't know anything about singing. And to be honest, nearly anyone who said that shit to me are not very good at singing. In fact, I've never really met anyone who I'd call even. Anyway, that's just whatever. Just like, can you imagine someone who you're trying to, like, is a dentist or something, and you're like fucking fucking where'd you learn dentistry? And they're just like just fucking taught myself or whatever. And you're like, oh jeez, very good, yeah, fair play to you. You obviously like read books or something to, like, and they're just like, nah, I just got the fucking hammer and chisel out and just fucking went for it. And there's one thing to, like, self-learning and so on. There's another thing to there you are. There goes another analogy for you. But so if you suck in through your nose, your tummy comes out. That's ideal. It's all like Kundalini yoga and all this fucking mad shit. Just breathing. This is how we all naturally breathe. Now I know you might be thinking, "Jeez, this lad's going on about breathing an awful lot." But if you get breathing down, as I said, if you get people young, it's a lot better, because what happens is, the older you get, like you start getting a bit detached from nature and so on, getting a bit out of sync. Your body starts getting a bit out of sync with things. So when you're a newborn and all that stuff, you breathe like correctly and things, and when you're sleeping. But when you're in your day-to-day life, you're getting a bit stressed and all that stuff, or you're in attack mode, you'll start breathing with your chest and all this stuff, which is fine, but it's just not what you want for singing. It's not what you want for singing. If you want to be singing every fucking day, be hitting fucking high notes, low notes, all over. You want to be. This is just fucking working out, lad. It's working out. Alright, so we're going to do what we did yesterday anyway. We're going to go up and down the piano, major scales. So you probably know this from when you're a kid. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Just, you don't have to worry about what I said there, but you all know that melody, don't you? Ba, 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 ba. So all we're going to do is do that, and we're slowly going to raise the pitch up, and then we're slowly going to raise the pitch down. Just like stretching the fucking, oh jeez, how are you getting on? Oh, a bit of stretching. And what's so interesting is you might, your throat might be real raspy, maybe you've been eating a lot of cigarettes, maybe you've been, whatever you're into. It's going to clean up your voice. It's going to be wonderful. So your voice is going to be a bit sore after doing this, because you don't really know what you're doing. You can't see your vocal cords. But if you keep sipping water, some people like tea and all that stuff. So it's recommended, if I was going to be getting the textbook out, you do the singing half-hour warm-up. I'm talking singing non-stop, no chit-chat. Then you take a half-hour break, and then you're ready to perform. There you are. That's the golden formula. And during your half-hour break, you like fucking put a bit of fucking. People use honey. People use. There's all sorts of alternatives to honey, but that kind of texture is what people strive for. There's all sorts of imitations of honey and so on. But that's the kind of thing you'd be going for. And some people get like, oh, what you really want is this honey from this fucking vineyard in fucking Poland. Some people get real weird about what fucking stuff they do. Other people will just have a pint and a cigarette and won't do vocal warm-ups. And that's fine. But a lot of these lads they'd be singing, like once a week at the most. A lot of these lads would be, the odd gig, like they'd be gigging, have one gig once a month or something. They just try, fuck it. We get sloshed and just go up, see what happens. Which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Life's stressful and so on. But the lads who do be at it, and the ones where you're like, oh gee, the voice, where do you get that voice from? Jeez, that's very nice. They'll often, without noticing it, they'll be like singing and humming all day. That warms up the voice without straining it. So on the extreme side, if you were shouting loud volume, you'll lose your voice or whatever. Anything you're forcing, your body's so delicate in this kind of throat area, as I'm sure you can imagine. So it's very, very. If any of you want to Google mindfulness or any of that kind of stuff, do you know all like touching and feeling and all those kind of things? You want to be in a kinesthetic mindset, which is touch. Maybe have the old hand on the throat. Personally, I have my hand on my throat sometimes just because I'm trying to figure out, am I resonating properly? Are my things coming out? Because even if you have a blocked nose, I'm talking to my nose a little bit, your vocal tone changes. Things like practicing accents and stuff is really, really good for getting your musical ear up. And so on. Anyway, let's see what we got going on here. So verbal. If you're having trouble with it, push your cheeks up, just lightly, just to take the weight off your cheeks. Sometimes it's hard to push your cheeks out for a long period of time while you're still practicing your technique. Stand up straight. Oh jeez, the neck. Feet, hips width apart. And when I say straight, you're being someone's got a fucking, you know, a bit of string on your head and they're pulling you up by your head. Do you know that kind of way? It's not, because a lot of people when they think stand up straight, they actually they don't actually stand up straight. They kind of bend back. But actually stand up straight is a lot more. You're almost slightly forward. Jeez, keep the hair hidden. You're almost slightly forward when you're actually standing up straight. I think people say, like, imagine you're being pulled up from your spine. The back of your head needs to line up with the ball at the top of your spine. Well, I'm sure you know what stand up straight is. If you don't know what stand up straight is, ask a friend. And do it all the time as well. You don't want to be just doing it like, while you're singing. Oh, Jesus, that's a good old crack there. The top lads are always on. They're always on. For example, when Arnold Schwarzenegger was, you know, lifting weights and shit, he says, like, his psychology. It's just fucking psychology. Mindset, staying focused, just thinking about singing all the time and just humming, just singing along to things, even low. My voice, you'll get good at singing from practicing, and even if it's not practicing, just doing it, just singing all the time. Even low level humming, shakes off all the mucus off the throat. Way better than any kind of coughing. Coughing is, like, everyone does do coughing. That's fine. It's not ideal though. The reason why we have things like vocal warmth and stuff is to prevent nodules growing in the throat, which is when the vocal cords slap against each other, and lads from like Linkin Park, all that kind of stuff, all that kind of vocal distortions, if they're not done with proper tension and release, because a lot of them just do tension and they don't do the release, and then they lose their voice the next day. Like, they can sing for half an hour, but they're gone. Like, they're gone. And that's what happens when you don't do the warm-ups. If there's any confusion to this at all, just imagine someone just said, right, run now. Just run for fucking an hour. Just run. Not run. How long's a long time? 10 minutes. Just run as fast as you can. And you can imagine how fucking sore you'd be for the next 3 days. You'd be like, oh jeez, I've never used out that fucking muscle before. Gee, where did that muscle even come from? Didn't even know I had one of them. As opposed to, no one does stretches, but as opposed to even like, yeah, we'll say doing stretches or having a warm-up run or something like that, just a bit of preparation, your body just gets absolutely shocked. Just like, what is going on here? Like, and a lot of it is stress induced. So if you're running and you're not used to running, you might be like tensing all muscles you don't need to tense and all this stuff. You're just like, you have bad technique and all the rest of it. And pressure being applied to pressure, all the rest of it. All the rest of it. Drink lots of water and sing all the time. Sing along to everything. And not even, you don't have to like actually sing it loud. You can even be on the bus and just be like, or I like to sometimes sing down really low, because sometimes people can't hear it down that low, especially if you're in town or something. Like, no one's gonna, you can just and your lips aren't moving or anything. So I like to just hum along all the time to everything. And sometimes I like to just, you'll notice also, if you're singing when you're stressed, you'll lose your voice. When you're singing when you're not stressed, you won't lose your voice. It's just how tense you are, and if you're all tense, you're gonna fucking pull a muscle and all these things. It's just a muscle that you can't see and you can't really feel either, so it's an absolute head fuck. Alright, let's do some vocal warm-ups. Oh yeah. So we're going to go up and down one octave, starting on C major, going up through the full musical alphabet to C major, one octave above. If you're having trouble, if you're singing, if you're hearing this note but you want to sing up here, I don't know, if your voice hurting, just sing down. So down octaves. So here's an octave. Somewhere over the rainbow. That interval. Somewhere. A fifth is Star Wars. Bum, bum, ba, 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 bum, ba, bum, ba, 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 ba. And a fifth, an octave is somewhere. Those notes, if for any of you nerds, is C to C is an octave, and a fifth from C is G. Or is it? Yes. Yes. Alright, here we go. Musical. Or will we keep that? We got some bells up in here. Oh. Oh. A little bit too much Where's the effects gone? Alright, here we go. So get your burble out. Am I losing the audience? Are you getting bored? Let's try to get picky about what. Here we go. Again. Feet, shoulders width apart. Alright, going up. Yes. Alright, going up one semitone. Up one octave. Sorry, one semitone. So one fret on the fretboard there. Come C to C sharp. Man, I need one of those corona masks. I'm spitting everywhere. Onto D. So starting note. Some of you might be singing up here. Some of you might be singing up here. Some of you might be singing here. If it hurts, drop down an octave. So if you're singing up here and it hurts, drop down lower. Here we go. Make sure keep that hand on the tummy. Yeah, so you've got to make sure you're singing. Voice going the whole way through. You're not singing with your throat. You're singing from your diaphragm. Alright. Here we go. You can also do that whole roll in your oars thing if but the burble's pretty good. The burble's pretty good. Here we go. D sharp. Here we go. Right, up again, up to E, here we go. Again. Alright, up to F, F major. All major scales, here we go. Here we go. F major, up to F sharp major. F sharp major. again. F sharp major. Up to G major. So this is the 5th of C, okay? Here's C. Remember that interval from fucking Star Wars? Alright, so we're going on G now. 1/5 above C. G major, here we go. G sharp. G sharp. A major. So this is the 6th relative minor of C major. Kind of. Alright, whatever. Here we go. A major. Up to A sharp. Here we go. That's 1 octave. A, 1 octave major scale. Alright? Up to B. Again. Lovely. And here's the last one. C major. Lovely. Alright, verbals. It's a very, very important exercise because it means that you're pushing the air out through your teeth. And as I was talking about yesterday, this is all for tone shaping. Can you feel the kind of your throat? It feels like it's a little tiny bit tender, maybe. Not tender, but it kind of feels like you've been lifted a little weight or something. I don't know. You can feel something there, and you can also notice. Whoa! I don't know if you can. Your voice will sound really high for a little while. Your vocal placement, and then after, let's say, half an hour, your vocal placement will drop down. So vocal placement is just like a lower vocal placement down there. All right, so you've noticed some the bridge and stuff. You've probably noticed there's you have to switch between like where's my low voice to all that fucking good shit. Or whatever you're into. Babe. Oh yeah. Are you serious? Whatever you're into. Right. So there's a break, right? You got your low voice, which maybe you're used to talking to, and then you got your high voice, which some people may call falsetto, but it ain't no falsetto, bitch. It's no falsetto. Alright. So what people do is they go up in volume as they rise in pitch. So they'd be going. So just louder as they go up. But in fact, you almost got to turn down and use a thing called compression, which is where you let less out the higher up you go. So you hold back on your air. It's called breath compression, and it's highly important for all those high notes. So because you can't, if you're just throwing all your air out, you're gonna lose your voice because there's too much air passing through the vocal cords and it'll dry out. But if you use air compression, like when I'm singing, if there was a feather in front of my mouth, it might not even move when I'm singing. Now, I just gotta say that again, because this is how mad singing is. If I'm singing like so that's not whatever. It's a high note, but there's literally nothing coming out of my and oh baby, It's vocal compression. So there's no air. There's fuck all air. That's how I can sing for so long, because I'm not just going. A lot of people would be talking breathy, which is another other vocal. That's a pop vocal style. So here's breathy. They'd be like, "Oh baby, this is a very breathy vocal sound." And oh yeah, oh, and ooh, and they kind of got that that belly. Oh, oh baby, oh baby, oh, oh. That's a whole other kind of breathy thing. So yeah, it is quite kind of complicated a little bit. So what I'm trying to get at is, it's natural to think, if the high note, oh, it's going to be really loud, and you also, that means you got to be really loud. You got to blow as much air, even more air through it. But in fact, the higher up the note, the less air. Because the more air has some impact on volume and so on. So when you're actually, what's actually wild, when you're in the room with a really good singer, they don't, if they've got good control, or compression just means kind of, it's like when you're watching TV, you know when a horror film's on, it jumps in volume. A bad singer who has no control will suddenly be really loud on some notes and really quiet on other notes, and you're like, what the fuck's going on here? And they'll also be completely in and out of time and all sorts of things. Whereas if you're in the room with a really good singer, they can sing all the notes loud and quiet at like high, like they can sing their full register loud or quiet, and it'll all be at the same. I don't know if you can notice the way I'm talking, but the level I'm talking at is fairly consistent. It's not suddenly shouty volume, it's not suddenly whisper. But when because people don't have a lot of some singing is counterintuitive, so it involves a lot of relaxing muscles that aren't used to being relaxed, modifying vowels, and a bit of what's that thing called, that puppeteering thing, dummy, you know, that fucking I'm a dummy, hey girl, what's up with that? And the dummy like slags the puppeteer and so on, all that stuff. Yeah, so if there's any confusion, just practice breathing, nothing else. What you got to do is like lie down. If you're confused about all this stuff, just like, you know, when you wake up in the morning, just observe the way you breathe, and when you're lying down, observe the way you breathe, and try to put your hands on your tummy. A lot of time when you get stressed out and stuff, especially if you're singing live, you've been practicing singing with your stomach, and then when you're stressed out, you're going to start singing with your chest. Your technique goes fucking out the window. You're singing too loud because you can't hear yourself. Voice is gone within the first song. Fucked. Absolutely fucked. I'm just coming from a lad who's sang many a gig with like no voice, and so on. So yeah, it's just all about control, breath control. There you are. And I know it sounds so simple, but that's it. If you push too hard, your note will start to sharpen. If you don't push hard enough, the note will still just go flat. That's more in the subtleties of it. Just breath control and tension and release, breathing. There's a good bit of, I'm not really a yoga expert or anything, but as I said, a lot of singers, the lads who have to go on tour and perform all the fucking time are usually know what's going on with breathing. Either they've been taught it or they kind of naturally do it, I guess. But it's this stomach breathing. There you are. There's the words of wisdom. And when people are doing these vocal distortion things, like it's not loud. It sounds loud because it's high up in the frequency range. Especially if I go like high up, like like, alright, whatever. That might sound like it's really high, loud in volume, but it's actually just more than, it's actually not that loud in amplitude. It's just to do with the curvature of the perception of the ear or whatever. Anyway, the frequency response of your natural eardrum is kind of peaked. Perceives higher notes as louder than lower notes, okay? Just to do with the resonance chambers and stuff in your ear and all that, eardrums, etc. Alright, all the best. Have a great day. And it's very good for stress relieving, the old singing. So just get singing all the time. Hum, 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 hum. Because you hum, you won't lose your voice. You sing it loud, you will. Okay, good luck, bye.